All right, we're on hole number 8. We're on hole number 8. Now there is one of these holes here I was told was redesigned, but I haven't seen it yet. So hole number 8. Now, I talked to one of my teammates. He called me this morning, and we talked about this hole in particular because this is and I will tell you right now that this hole from the second tees and this hole from the Masters tees especially, because you're using a driver on this, and unless you've got, I mean, it is a tough shot because you're out here in the open and you can't really figure out, where. You can't go back out here and go, hey, I'm there, because you're out in the open. It's hard to find the right spot. So what's going to be key on this, if you can't do the shot that I'm doing from here because your sniper's not high enough developed, you can also use a Guardian from over here. You just don't have as much ball guide. Okay, but if you're going to be shooting the shot out here, what's super important is to establish what you need to do. If you need to do 3 backspin and 4 right-hand side spin, whatever it happens to be, you want to know these numbers. Because the first thing you want to do when you come to this hole is set those numbers up on your ball. And then you want to watch your second bounce, because your second bounce is either going to be right here on the fairway, right before the fringe, or it's going to be on the fringe. Normally when I'm setting up shots like this where I'm out in the clear, I like to set my second bounce up in the middle of the fringe, because that's very, you can go back to that same spot. So you set your club up, you set your ball up, you get everything done, and you don't care about where your stuff is out here. You don't care about this. All you're concerned with is that second bounce, of putting that second bounce in the middle of the fringe, second bounce in the middle of the fringe, or second bounce right off the fringe in the fairway. So that every single time, this is the consistent part of this shot. So coming here and playing this hole a few times and figuring out what numbers you need to do on your club. And then from that point on, those are the numbers on your club. Yeah, you don't come the next time and go, well, I'm going to, those are the numbers. Put those numbers on your club and then watch where this second bounce goes on your ball guide. And that will help you get this shot consistently down. One of the reasons I like this shot is because it's very easy for me to get it consistently down. I can put my blue rings, I can wedge my blue ring up so that it's right against the sand all the way around, and then I can put my stuff on my ball. I don't make a lot of hole-in-ones on this, but this is a low percentage hole-in-one shot, but I get close enough that I come close a lot, and I do get drops in because I'm always in the same. I set my ball up the same, and it tends to get very consistent to the hole. And I was gone for so long that it's going to make me restart. This tournament is absolutely, every tournament is tough. But this tournament has some very tough holes in it that it's hard to be consistent on them because you're shooting into the blind. You don't have any reference point around you. So you're going to have to be a little more creative on your reference points. Instead of saying, hey, I wedge my rings in here, what you're going to have to do is set your ball up. Go shoot that hole a bunch of times until you figure out what you need to set up on your ball. This is why it's so important to record yourself. I'm going to switch this out to a sniper. And if I remember correctly, I use a big ball on this. I believe I use a katana. And I use the katana because it's got the 3 side spin. Now if you have a Guardian, you can do this same shot if you have a less developed sniper, as long as it has backspin, which is going to be level 8. If you have a level 8 sniper in your account, you can definitely use your sniper. If you don't, then you'll probably have to use your Guardian. And if you don't have either one of those, or you don't feel comfortable with those, then you're going to need to go out there in the flat and figure out what you need to put on your ball and watch the second bounce, the second landing spot, that wherever that second bounce is, that's the important thing to keep track of. All right, I will go first. because I always go first. Oh, look at that. It's always nice when our opponent goes first. I don't really pay attention to them. Originally, people were all upset. They were like, oh, I'm having to go first, and they're watching me, and they're just duplicating my shot. And the deal is that, hey, there's not a lot of ways to shoot some of these holes. So, yes, of course, they were duplicating your shot. There used to be a forum. Golf Clash used to have an actual forum. It was great because you could go on there and you could post questions, and it wasn't the Facebook thing where it was just a thread and you couldn't find anything. And people could really get stuff going. And there was a guy that came on there. His name was Windwalker. And I'm sure he's got a room full of tin hats. And it was the big conspiracy thing, that everything was a conspiracy. All right, here we go. It's been a long time. I posted a demo of this hole from a past tournament, but it's been forever and a day since I actually played this hole. Okay, so we've got all the backspin and a little bit of curl. We're going right towards the hole. I'm going to do a full wind adjustment. Now you can see how the rings are distorted because of the sand, so you got to really be cognizant when you're in sand. I'm not a big fan of having to dig into the sand. I'm going to put a little bit of curl just to make sure it goes in that direction. Hit it perfect. And that was too much curl. Now I know that the ball looked like it was going to go straight at it, and I put that curl on there. But I've shot this shot in the past where I didn't put any curl on there, and the ball guy was lying. But maybe that time it wasn't. So the next time I come here, maybe I won't put any curl on it. I would like to not have to put any curl on it, because that all that does is lower your odds of actually getting it in the hole. We will miss our putt. We do not want to qualify today. You got to be real careful when you're doing these. If you're doing practice rounds, you don't want to be in 12th place and think, hey, everything's good, because if the people above you are not all complete, you may get some guy that forfeits, somebody that forfeits. And a buddy of mine a couple tournaments ago ended up qualifying with a 5 because everybody was just practicing and they left him out to dry. All right, that was hole number 8 of the Easter Open tournament and Monday's qualifying round. Thanks for watching.